All right, welcome again, everyone. We're so happy to have you here. We have four singers today. We have Rebecca, Alina, Gemma. I believe it's Gemma. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. And Diana. We will go in that order, if that's okay. Rebecca, Alina, Gemma, and Diana. And yeah, without further ado, I'm going to turn the time over to Telly. Thank you, Telly.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Mary. It's so wonderful to be with you all today. I'm coming to you from New York City in Midtown Manhattan, right in Hell's Kitchen. I'm about 2 blocks away from Times Square, right in the theater district. And it's a beautiful day out today. And New York is abuzz and definitely waking up from the long, year-long slumber that well, really a year and 3 months slumber that we've had. So it's really sort of refreshing and hopeful. And that's how I'm feeling today. I hope you're all feeling that as well today. Um, as far as like me, there's all this stuff that I've done on stage and on TV. You can read about it in Playbill and like Wikipedia me. The part that you might not know about me is that I also really enjoy teaching. I'm on faculty at the new studio on Broadway teaching vocal performance. Also guest teach at Carnegie Mellon and at University of Michigan. I know that I wouldn't be where I am today without incredible teachers who have shared their time and their experience with me. And so now that I've been doing this a bit longer, I would like to do the same. But I also want to emphasize to everybody in the room that I am still very much a student. I still take voice lessons. I still have an acting teacher. I still go to class myself. I've just been doing this a little longer, and how I like to approach these classes, especially since I don't know you all and I don't see you all week to week, is that and also we have a varying degree of levels and ages and experiences in our room today, and in our singers today. I also always like to think of these classes as good next steps. I know that when I have a song that I learned in my 20s, I know that when I pick it up in my 30s, it feels like a whole new song because I'm a whole new person and a whole new artist. Same thing. Now that I pick up a song in my 40s, it could be the same song, same notes, same lyrics on a page, and yet I feel like it's new and it's fresh. And I think that's sort of how I like to think of music and pieces. They are living, breathing organisms. We're never ever fully done. We never go, check, I got that song. I've learned everything there is to learn about that. It's an ever evolving process. And as we develop as artists and as we develop as people, this will constantly change. So think of today as absolutely a work in progress. Think of yourself as a work in progress. And that I might be asking you questions today that might expand sort of what you think about the song or how to approach it. I also don't believe in a right or wrong way to sing any song or perform anything, in fact. The only times I feel like something are ever wrong is when I'm watching a show and I go, I don't buy it. That doesn't feel authentic to me. And there's something about it that when that person isn't authentically telling that story or in that moment, ironically enough, the technical singing also isn't quite good, right? So like, if anything, we're going to get at finding your individual, very authentic ways of getting into the song, of digging deeper into the song. And I'm really excited to hear our singers today. So without further ado, let's go to Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi,
Where are you coming in from?
Los Angeles.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Good morning. Gosh, it's 3 hours early over there. So Rebecca, tell us a little bit about yourself. Your training? Are you currently a student? All of that.
Yeah. Well, I actually just graduated with my master's in music from Loyola
Amazing.
University, New Orleans. So I'm finally out there performing and looking for talent representation. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I did a lot of classical voice in undergrad, of course, and I was banned from singing musical theater for a while because it was messing with my classical technique. But once I went to my master's, I told my professor that I wanted to be a crossover singer, and I fulfilled that goal. So now that's what I'm branded as, which is exciting.
And Rebecca, what are you singing?
I'm singing Home from Beauty and the Beast.
Beautiful. Well, whenever you're ready, take it
Okay.
away. Do what you need to do, a sound check, whatever that is.
Okay. I'm gonna try the piano and you let me know if it's too loud or not. And then testing with my voice. Yeah? Okay. Papa, I will stay, but I don't deserve to lose my freedom in this way. You monster. If you think that what you've done is right, well then, you're a fool. Think again. Is this home? Is this where I should learn to be happy? Never dreamed that a home could be dark and cold. I was told every day in my childhood, even when we grow old, home should be where the heart is. Never were words so true. My heart's far, far away. Home is too. Is this home? Is this where I must learn to believe in? Try to find something good in this tragic place, just in case I should stay here forever, held in this empty space. Oh, but that won't be easy. I know the reason why. My heart's far, far away. Home's a lie. What I'd give to return to the life that I knew lately, but I know that I can't solve my problems going back. Is this home? Am I here for a day or forever? Shut away from the world until who knows when. Oh, but then, as my life has been altered once, it can change again. Build all your walls around me, change every lock and key. Nothing lasts, nothing holds all of me. My heart's far, far away. Home and
Rebecca, beautiful. My gosh, what a gorgeous, gorgeous instrument you have, and what a beautiful voice, and all of that wonderful training that you had at your master's program really, really paid off. So gorgeous. I mean, I really have nothing to say about the singing. I do want to suggest some next steps for you just as a storyteller, right? The song very much musically stays sort of here. And here's the thing, Belle at this moment is not sort of here. So there are two things that I would like you to think about as you approach this song. One is the moment before. So what do you think is the moment right before this has happened? If you were to tell all of us who don't know Beauty and the Beast or don't know this version of it, what has happened right before this song that spurs you to sing?
Well, she's now in the tower. She's stuck. She just sacrificed herself for her dad so her dad could be free because he's old and he's sick. And she agreed to stay in this house pretty much for who knows when, to be stuck with this beast and live the rest of her life in this tower.
And the immediate moment before really is this beast forcing you, violently forcing you into this room that you've never been in before, an unfamiliar space, and closing the door behind you, correct? That is like the literal physical moment before. I want you to actually do me a favor in this room. The other thing I want you to is to talk about is focus. So do me a favor in your mind's eye right now. Where is that door? Put that door geographically somewhere in your focus, and you can actually use a door in your room.
Okay, right there.
Good. So imagine that what has just happened is this beast violently picks you up, get in there, slams the door, right? So anything, any lyric that you want to direct towards the beast that is a challenge, that is anything that you feel like you want to direct towards how dare you, because that all sort of lives in this song. Those colors, that's the focus. Look at that door again.
Okay.
Great. And behind that door, and just sort of remember what that is to be thrown into this room. The second focus I want you to think about is the room itself, which is unfamiliar to you, right?
Mhm.
So much of this room is unfamiliar. When you're thrown into a room that's unfamiliar for the first time, all you want to do is like take it in, right? And so what I think she magically does in this song is she takes this cold, austere room, and she's trying to find a way out of it, and B, in her heart and her mind, she sort of does through the song, which I think is sort of amazing, right? So
Yes.
in a way, she has to like deal with her present, dealing with so that then the door is the moment before the door, and what's behind that door, the beast, you have many strong opinions about. Then there's like the where the hell am I, taking in the presence of the room. Then is there a window in your room?
Uh, yeah, there's lots of doors and windows in this room.
Okay, great. Is there a particular, I want you to find a particular window, and that's great. Looking stage left of you is perfect. Find a window that's stage left of you. And beyond that window, I want you to think about you, Rebecca. When I say the word home, what do you think of? Your home.
My home.
Well, like, but
um,
something very specific. Is there like when you look out the window of your home, what is it that you see that makes you go, oh, that's home?
the mountains surrounding Pasadena.
Right. And the minute you see those mountains, you go, ah, home, right?
Yep.
Are you in Pasadena right now?
Yes.
Perfect. So I want you to actually pretend you're not in Pasadena right now, but that the only memory of your home, of those beautiful familiar mountains, are when you look out that window. So now I want you to just sing the song again. I might stop you in the middle since it's a long song, but I just want you to focus on lyrics, not having to work for any emotion, but giving me an opinion about what's behind the door and what just happened to you. Give an opinion about the room and what's surrounding you, and give an opinion about what's out that window, which is something familiar, which is a place that you long to go to, even though you're trapped in this room,
Okay.
right? And let's see if that affects the way you color lyric just by focusing on two things, moment before and focus and geography of the room.
Okay. Yes, I made the choice. For Papa, I will stay. But I don't deserve to lose my freedom in this way. You monster! If you think that what you've done is right, well then, you're a fool. Think again. Is this home? I should stay here forever, held in this empty space. Oh, but that won't be easy. I know the reason why. My heart's far, far away. Home's alive. What I'd give to return to the life that I knew lately, but I know that I can't solve my problems going back. Is this home? Am I here for a day or forever? Shut away from the world until who knows when. Oh, but then, as my life has been altered once, it can change again. Build higher walls around me, change every lock and key. Nothing lasts, nothing holds all of me. My heart's far, far away. Home and
Beautiful. So Rebecca, what did you learn? Just I would just love to know what you learned during that pass.
Um, I definitely felt more authentic emotion. Imagining myself trapped in a place that I can't leave, and I went through that with COVID, being stuck in New Orleans away from home. So yeah, that brought out a lot of new emotions that I haven't actually really felt before. And then having the direction of the beast there, and then certain words I felt should be directed towards him, and it changed how I felt about certain pieces or certain parts of the song. Um, and I liked looking towards the mountains in the end.
What I think is really great about emotion and is that what I watched happen was that you didn't have to manufacture any of that emotion. It wasn't like I'm singing a sad song because a beast is throwing me in a home. You had varying colors and nuances of that emotion, but all of that organically came up because the what was propelling that emotion was actually outside of you. So there was nothing that you had to like manufacture for the mood of a song or the emotion of a song. The things that were propelling you to feel things, those triggers were actually, one was out the door, one was this weird room, and the third was the window. And all you had to do actually was give in to those three stimuli. And actually emotions then naturally came up. They organically came up. And frankly, your opinions about all of that can change minute to minute. So
Mm-hmm.
every night, if you were to play Belle, you can color those words differently as many ways as you want. And that's sort of how a performance can also stay alive night after night, 8 times a week, right? So
Yeah.
Rebecca, I really think you did a wonderful job. And just know that it really is that simple. That if you're very specific about, I have an opinion of this, I have an opinion of this, I have an opinion of that, right? And if you set yourself up that way, the emotion takes care of itself, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to work for any of that. Like you just felt all of that organically. It wasn't hard work, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was very easy.
That's great. It just came up organically. That's awesome. Any thoughts from our friends who are watching? Any observations that for Rebecca that might be helpful for her as she keeps working on this, or anything you observed? Alina.
Your placement is just absolutely beautiful, and you had like this speech like quality when you were saying monster that made the emotion very authentic, and you did such a good job performing it that I was like very captivated by how you were performing it. You were just very entertaining to watch, even though your gestures weren't super big choices. You showed it in your face very well.
Thank you.
So Rebecca, oh yes, Diana.
Yeah, it was just beautiful, and I love how you have a lot of richness in your soprano sound. It's really beautiful, and this mix that you get is so lovely. Just a little technical thing. I wanted you a little closer to the camera, I think. I felt like if you know what I mean? Because I could see your face a little bit more. I mean, do you feel that way, Telly, that she could maybe be a little bit closer? I mean,
Sure. I mean, I always I thought of this as sort of the the acting exercise part of it, where frankly, if she wanted to face a wall, that's okay, because if we're in exploration mode, we're in rehearsal mode. I think it's whatever sort of gets her to feel
yes.
geographically in the moment and in the place was helpful for me. But of course, yes, when you actually get a production, if you were doing the Zoom version of Beauty and the Beast, your director would absolutely say, "Hey, I need a tighter shot," or "I need a." So Diana, I think those are really good observations as well. But I say, when we're in class, like if you wanted to like sing the whole thing grabbing onto a wall because it helps you feel a certain way or helps ground you, do it, and know that if that's what helps me in rehearsal. And then when I get to rehearsal, that's what helps me in like exploration of it. When I get to rehearsal, or when I get to a director who says, "Hey, I'm going to need you to three-quarter cheat out so that side of the house can see you," that you can do that, but still feel connected to what it is you're doing. But for class, gosh, the amount of times I rolled around on a floor singing a song in class just to like get it in my voice and in my body that I would never do on a stage, but for class, do it, you know. But Rebecca, I appreciate you going there. Thank you so much. That was really excellent. Excellent
Thank
work.
you.
Alina, I think you're next. She's setting up.
Hi, sorry, that's me. And thank you for pronouncing my name right.
Oh, yay. Hey, Alina, where are you coming from?
I'm from Colorado. I'm 17 and I'm currently a high school student.
Awesome. Awesome. Are you a junior?
I just finished my junior year, so I'm going to be a senior soon.
Oh, fantastic. And you said Colorado, right?
Yes, sir.
And what are you singing?
I'm going to be singing Somewhere That's Green from Little Shop of Horrors.
Perfect. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I have to connect to data on my phone, so the
All
internet
right,
takes.
no
So I'm
worries.
gonna freeze for like 2 seconds.
Sure. In the meantime, Rebecca, do you have any questions for us about anything as we wait for Alina to figure out the tech side?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, if you think of anything, if anybody thinks of anything, I'm like easy to find on Instagram at Telly Leung. I'm easy to find. So if you have questions afterwards, feel free to shoot me a note. You good, Alina?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist. So I got a black eye and my arms in a cast. Still, that Seymour's a cutie, and if not, he's got inner beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together at last. Oh no, it's just a daydream of mine. Just a little development just off the interstate. Haw Haw and urban skid row, nothing fancy like Levittown. Just a little place in a little suburb where everyone is in the sweetest, greenest place, and everyone has the same little lawn out front and the same little flagstone patio out there. And all the houses are so neat and pretty because they all look just alike. I dream about it all the time. Just me, a toaster, and a sweet little guy like Seymour. matchbox of our own, a fence of real chain link, out on the patio, disposal in the sink, a washer and a dryer, and an ironing machine, in the tract house that we share, somewhere that's green. He rakes and trims the grass. He loves to mow and weed. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I look like Donna Reed. There's plastic on the furniture to keep it neat and clean. In the pine sol scented air, somewhere that's green. Between our brews and dinners and our bedtime, 9:15. Snuggle watching Lucy on a big enormous 12-inch screen. And his December bride, his father, he knows best. The kids watch Howdy Doody as the sun sets in the west. A picture out of better homes than Garden's magazine. Far from Skid Row. I dream will go. Somewhere that's green.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, Alina. Hey, Alina, since you have the track on a remote there, do you have a you have a chair there? Pull up your chair for me, and I actually want you to sit super close to the Zoom screen.
Let me lower my camera.
So let's talk about Audrey, right? So let's talk about Audrey and who she is. And I have a question for you, as if you were you can answer as Audrey if you want, but do you think Audrey ever believes she'll get out?
No, I think Audrey is a character that has been told and classified as this unintellectual, unvalued person, and at some point she ended up believing it, and she's developed this very insecure character of being so unsure of herself but having big dreams and them feeling so far and intangible.
That is a very observant character observation from somebody who's 17. So brava, first of all, awesome. I think that's exactly right. That is sort of what I think is brilliant about this song, is that it's this I want song for I mean, you know, for Audrey, the brilliant Ellen Green, who did it originally. But like what I love about it is it sort of comes late. You know, it's not like it's the I want song that comes it's not the Wizard and I, Full of Hope, right? In the beginning of Act One. It's not that. It's not I'm the Greatest Star, Full of Hope from Fanny Bryce sings in Funny Girl. This is a different I want that has a lot of obstacle. And I think so much of the obstacle for Audrey is her own disbelief that this is ever going to be a place she'll ever get to. Doesn't mean that it's not somewhere deep in there and like really in her heart, right? So I think so much of this. Do you think you've ever shared this with another living soul? These words about where you'd like to go?
This is kind of like the first time she is talking to, because she's talking to the girls like Crystal, Ronette, and Chiffon as is happening right after she's missed Seymour's interview on the radio. And she's almost at this point of like beating herself up because the girls are telling her she needs, oh my gosh, someone just told me I look like Leung. Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, I think, can we try something? I would love for you to, on your Zoom screen, to pin one person. Let's make it Rebecca, since she's already sung. So pin Rebecca and pretend like, in fact, for the rest of us, turn off your video. And I want you to pretend like you've never said any of these words out loud before. You've not talked about you've not revealed how you feel about Seymour out loud. You've certainly not said how you feel out loud about the sadist, the dentist you're dating, that
Lauren's
you're actually not
mom.
into him and you think he's a sadist. Right. And also, I don't think you've ever voiced deep down your dream of getting out of here, of getting out of Skid Row. And now I want you to make this whole song as if you are revealing your deepest, darkest secret to Rebecca.
All right, yeah, I can do
And
that.
and no need and for example, you have such a beautiful voice. You don't need to belt or any of this. I just want you to make sure Rebecca sees and feels everything you feel.
Okay. I'm dropping things. I'm gonna start from after the dialogue.
Sure. And make the whole thing a one, even if you have the dialogue, it's fine. Make the whole thing a one-on-one conversation with Rebecca. Nobody else is in the room.
If it would load, that would be phenomenal. Come on, YouTube. Okay, it's gonna load. Give it like 5 seconds and we'll be okay.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time and just take in Rebecca. It's just the two of you in this room. The rest of us aren't here.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist. So I got a black eye in my arms and a cast. Still that Seymour's a cutie, and if not, he's got inner beauty. I dream of a place where we could be together at last. Oh no, it's just a daydream of mine. Just a little development I dream of, just off being a state. Nothing fancy like Levittown, just a little development in a little suburb, far, far from urban Skid Row. Well, all the houses are so neat and pretty because they all look just alike. One has the same little lawn out front and the same little flagstone patio out there. And it's just so beautiful. I dream about it all the time. Just me, a toaster, and a sweet little guy, Seymour. Matchbox, a phone home, a fence of real chain link, grilled out on the patio, disposal in the sink, washer and dryer, and an ironing machine in the tract house that we share, somewhere that's green. He rakes and trims the grass. He loves to mow and weed. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I look like Donna Reed. There's plastic on the furniture to keep it neat and clean. Pine sol scented air, somewhere that's green. Well, my TV decided to stop.
It's okay. Great. Brilliant. Wait, come back. Come back. Let's just talk about that much. Awesome. Wait, I want to know what did you learn by doing it that way, Alina? Was there anything that felt different for you?
Um, well, I've played this character before, and she's always been directed as very ditzy, but I think this song has always been her moment of intelligence. You know, this is kind of where you see Audrey's character and kind of interacting it in a way that she is so detail oriented in what she wants and how much thought she's put into this, and that's convenient.
It's interesting that you say ditzy because you don't think you're ditzy. Audrey doesn't think she's ditzy, and yet I think Audrey is actually so smart, so street smart, so world smart. She knows that everybody views her as ditzy. She knows that the world views her as ditzy, right? And maybe she even thinks, because of what she's been taught by the world, that I don't deserve anything better than than that dentist who hits me all the time, right? All I deserve is Skid Row, and yet deep down I have this really silly dream, this silly dream that that I too could be Donna Reed and Betty Crocker, right? So it's that the conflict I think is right for this song and this character because she's in a lot of ways in her own way of getting to that dream of getting out of Skid Row, right? Everybody, feel free to turn your cameras back on too. How did it feel to just sing it so intimately to Rebecca, one
um,
person?
it felt very genuine. It felt a little more connected than trying to think about all the blocking I'm used to doing, and creating the emotions I needed when it's so intimate. You're a little more focused on expressing it from a deeper place because that's what's going to make the most impact.
What I loved about the focus, Alina, and I think is a good lesson for you to take away. This is one of those songs where you have to get us to see the dream in your head. And what's beautiful about the focus that you had with Rebecca is I ended up focusing a lot more on words and text and picture. I also focused on you. There's a beat that happens when you just have one person that you're trying to paint the picture for. There's a beat that happens and it's subconscious and it's silence that goes a match a fence of real chain link. Did you get it? Something on the furniture. Did you get that? Disposal in the sink. There's a beat that happens when there's just one person that where you have to make sure the other person gets it. So I think that's a really, especially these songs where you're trying to paint a picture for somebody else to see. I want you to see what I see. You always have to wait for the person to go, did you see it too? This is what I see in my brain. I know it's silly, but do you see it? Like, give yourself those beats, even if there's three Ronettes sitting next to you, right? Three urchins sitting next to you. Make sure that they see exactly what it is that you see. There's just a moment where you get to connect with that scene partner a little bit too. So I thought it was really, really, really beautiful, and the singing actually was so sweet when you had that focus as well.
Thank you.
Alina, do you have any questions for me?
um yeah, so I feel like I do have some like minor technical issues like vocally, and it's just something I want to work on because I understand like there is a rawness to having the speech like quality, but like there also gets to a point where I feel like I'm losing some of the emotion because I understand that technically where I'm placing my vocals, it's not where it should be.
Yeah, so here's my thought about that, especially if you're gonna, and I think it's different for each character, right? So, and each genre of show. So, for example, a show like Light in the Piazza is going to require you to have some pretty specific placement of your voice. A character in a show like Audrey, I think it's going to be all right. Ellen Green doesn't necessarily have the most technical placement, and yet you couldn't keep your eyes off of her or keep your ears off of her because her sound was so individual and so right for the world of that show. So I think, Alina, it's about having the kind of instrument to be able to adjust style wise and genre wise to what it is that you're doing, and also knowing that at the end of the day, if I'm watching you as Audrey, I don't want to watch you place your voice. I want you to be Audrey. I want you to use your voice to communicate message and emotion and the pictures you see and what you want in your heart. That means you forget about your voice. in some ways. Go listen. You've taken years of voice lessons and you've gone through rehearsals. You know what the blocking is. You know what your lines are. At
I mean,
some
I'm
point, you
not
just have to
trained
like
at all, but thank you.
let it go. But at some point, you just let it go. At some point, you just have to let all that go and not worry about. Because if I'm watching you play Audrey on Broadway, I'm not watching you think about your placement. I want to watch you as Audrey, right? So in some ways, some of all of this great training and rehearsal and voice lessons, all of that we do for hours and hours and hours is so that we can like forget about it. It becomes second nature. We let it go and we just live in those characters and we trust that our technique is going to be there for us. Does that make any sense, Alina?
Yes, it does.
You got
Also,
it.
thank you for just paving a really great path for Asian American performers on Broadway. I admire you a lot for that. So,
Well, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Hey, let's go to our next singer, Gemma. Hi, Gemma.
Hi,
Gemma, what are you singing?
I'm singing Requiem from Dear Evan Hansen.
Brilliant. And tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you coming in from?
I'm from Texas,
Cool. Where in Texas?
right outside of Houston, a little bit more of the rural area.
Awesome. And are you a student right now?
Yeah, I'm in high school.
You're
I
in high
just
school.
turned 16.
Oh, awesome. Perfect age appropriate song. This is perfect. So whenever you're ready, take it away.
Okay. Why should I play this game of pretend? Remembering through a secondhand sorrow, such a great son and wonderful friend. Oh, don't the tears just pour? I could curl up and hide in my room, or in my bed still sobbing tomorrow. I could give in to all of the gloom. But tell me what for? Why should I have a heavy heart? Why should I start to break in pieces? Why should I go and fall apart for you? Why should I play the grieving girl and lie, saying that I miss you and that my world has gone dark without your light? I will sing no requiem tonight, 'cause when the winds fall, the kingdoms never weep. No one lights a candle to remember. No one mourns at all when they lay them down to sleep. So don't tell me that I didn't have it right. Don't tell me that it wasn't black and white. After all you put me through, don't say it wasn't true, that you're not the monster. 'Cause I can lie, saying that I miss you and that my world has gone dark. I will sing no requiem. I will sing no requiem tonight.
Gemma, really beautiful. Hey, Gemma, just so you know, I'm catching your internet in and out a lot. So
Oh no.
it's all
Can I
good. No worries. So
can I make a
here's the thing.
recommendation? Gemma, in the top left corner of your screen, there should be a little button that says turn off original sound or turn on original sound. Can you
Okay.
make sure that that's off so that, yeah, so turn off the original sound and that might help.
Okay, it's off.
It should say, yeah, it should say turn off original sound is what it should say on the top of that screen. Yeah.
Oh,
But also,
so
but
it
I
should
actually
be
think
on
it's
a.
a but actually, Mary, I think it's a bandwidth thing. So I'm actually going to make another suggestion. I'm not going to have you sing this again, only because the bandwidth is sort of cutting you in and out. So what I would love for you to do, if you're open to it, is please record something and send it to Mary, and I'll watch it again after we're done. So this way you can
Okay.
email a video, and it's something I can upload it to Dropbox or YouTube or a private link on
Okay.
YouTube or something. So I'll watch it. I want to give you, before you do that, I want to give you some thoughts about this.
Mhm.
So, do you think she really misses her brother
No,
at all?
I
Do
think
you think
she
you have any
doesn't, but
good memories?
I think she doesn't miss him, but she's having doubt. Maybe she's seeing it like a biased point of view, and she's doubting herself.
Do you think you feel, since you don't miss him, because you probably weren't very close to him, do you feel like you feel any guilt?
I think
Because everybody else is crying about your dead brother, and you're like, it's like chorus
I
line. It's
think
like I feel nothing.
when she's I think she's trying not to feel guilt, because like in the line, don't tell me that I didn't have it right, don't tell me that it was black and white. She's just saying, don't blame this on me, don't make me feel guilty about this.
Don't make me feel bad for not feeling bad,
Yeah.
basically. So in many ways, it's interesting. Everybody grieves differently. You know, everybody has a different way to deal with goodbyes. I think deep down, like deep, deep, deep down, do you think you loved your brother or tried to love your brother?
I think she tried to love her brother.
Of course. How can you not? It's your brother, right? So underneath, what I want you to think about, this show. What I love about Dear Evan Hansen is that the emotions are layered like a cake. At the bottom of this cake is love. You love your brother. The relationship you two have had makes this cake a very many layered cake with very different flavors on each layer, right? So to get to that bottom layer of love, I think it's there. I think it exists. On top of that might be anger. On top of that might be frustration at everybody else around you for not grieving the same way you grieve. On top of that might be a little bit of guilt. Am I an unfeeling person that I'm not like bawling and crying like my mother is over the death of this brother, right? I think all of those layers, I want you to think about as you sing this song, and if you want to record another version of this and send it to me, think about eating this cake and getting deeper and deeper and deeper down to that layer
Hmm.
and going through each of those flavors as you cut into this cake. Does that make any sense? That's a
Yeah,
crazy
that makes.
analogy, but does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And if you can, find as many layers of this, find as many flavors in this multi-layer cake as you possibly can, because I think this is a very layered song with conflicting emotions. Sometimes you feel this great deep love because you've just lost your brother, and that's a huge loss. And then there are moments where you're like, I feel nothing. And then there are moments you're like frustrated at yourself for feeling nothing. Why do I feel nothing? I'm like, am I heartless? What's happening? Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Awesome.
Yes.
And yes, and why don't we find, if you can, Mary will pass contact info for you and just shoot me another video and I'll shoot you another video back. Does that sound good?
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just don't want to waste time doing it if your internet's gonna cut in and out.
Hmm.
Awesome. Thanks, Gemma.
Thank you.
Um, Thank you, and I can't wait to see your video. Send me something. Diana.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm good, Diana. What are you singing?
So I'm going to sing for you guys. Whatever happened to my part from Spamalot?
Perfect.
Especially with during COVID, I've really gotten into funny songs. Something to lighten everyone's heart, and so I just okay. So
Brilliant. Where are you coming in from, Diana?
I live in Columbia, Maryland. It's between
Awesome.
Baltimore and DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see. Got my stuff. Ah. Ooh. Whatever happened to my part? It was exciting at the start. Now we're halfway through Act 2. I've had nothing yet to do. I've been off stage for far too long. It's ages since I had a song. This is one unhappy diva. The producers have deceived her. There is nothing I can sing from my heart. Whatever happened to my part? I am sick of my career, always stuck in second gear. Up to here with frustration, give me more drama. I've no Grammys, no rewards, I've no Tony Awards. I'm constantly replaced by Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Whatever happened to my show? I was a hit, now I don't know. I'm with a bunch of British knights, prancing round in woolly tights. I might as well go to the pub. They've been out searching for a shrub, out shopping for a bush where they can kiss my tush. It seems to me they've really lost the plot. Whatever happened to my, I'll call my agent, damn it. Whatever happened to my, not yours, and not yours, but my
Well, that's a lovely way to end our session today. Um, First of all, very funny, and I love how committed you are. Props and all to all of it. So
Yes.
thank you. I also enjoy that you have a lake behind you for the Lady of the
Yes.
Lake. I really enjoy it. Listen, I think it's super fun. My only thought about it is that with comedy, sometimes if you go, this is the funny bit, you actually lose the laugh a little bit, right? So sometimes if you go, I'm about to do something funny, we are watching then Diana do something funny. Whereas I would love to explore a version where it's dead serious, where like if this is a breach of contract what's happening to me in this show, and it's infuriating, and that you're on a Zoom call with your agents, actual managers and people complaining about this. This is ridiculous. Get on the horn and do something. This way it gives the song an objective, which is to make sure that they correct this situation. I'm not in the show. How dare they? That do something about this. It gives it an actual like playable objective, and the comedy will come. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah, yeah, you don't want to go,
It's
yeah, and
everything.
now.
It's correct. It's everything you're doing, except the next layer on top of that is to actually play the scene for real. Because
Okay.
when comedy gets played for real, and the need is so genuine and heightened, but it has to start from a real place of going, this is ridiculous, and I'm too big of a star for this. Do you know who I am? Do you mean like it comes from someplace I think that has to be genuine and rooted in truth, and let us laugh at the situation of it instead of the bits.
Okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. Pretend you can pin one of us. Pretend like we're the agent that you're complaining to. That's like, get me out of here, Morty. Terrible gig.
Well, let's see. How do you pin somebody? Oh, I
Oh,
see.
just
Okay.
you don't even have to pin somebody. Just
Rebecca Farrell.
pick somebody to
I've
look
seen
at.
you in all the classes. I'm gonna pin you.
Yeah, Rebecca's your agent, and your objective is to get Rebecca to get you out of this gig.
All right. Okay? So start from the beginning. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
start from the beginning and
All
make
right.
Rebecca do something about it.
Oh God.
All right. So just start anytime. All right. Whatever happened to my part? It was exciting at the start. Now we're halfway through Act 2. I've had nothing yet to do. I've been off stage for far too long. It's ages since I had a song. This is one unhappy diva. The producers have deceived her. There is nothing I can sing from my heart. Whatever happened to my part? I am sick of my career, always stuck in second gear. Up to here with frustration, give me more drama. I've no Grammys, no rewards, I've no Tony Awards. I'm constantly replaced by Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Whatever happened to my show? I was a hit, now I don't know. I'm with a bunch of British knights, prancing round in woolly tights. I might as well go to the pub. They've been out searching for a shrub, out shopping for a bush. Well, they can kiss my tush. It seems to me they've really lost the plot. Whatever happened to I'll call my agent, damn it. Whatever happened to not yours and not yours, but
That was great. How did that feel?
It was fun. Yeah, I mean, I know I had props and crazy little things, but yeah, did it seem a little mean? Did I seem a little mean or?
No, not at all. It felt genuine. I'm going to ask the rest of the room, but nobody else really felt, right? Like the thing is, it would actually feel more I would feel less for this character actually if she wasn't genuine about how desperately she felt slighted.
Yes.
Like if you really believe the injustice of, can you believe they put me in the back? Me in the back. I'm too good for the back. You know what I mean? Like if it comes from someplace genuine, then I feel like we'll start to feel for her.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But if she's making a joke of the situation, then there's no room for me to laugh at it.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah, and so let the comedy unfold rather than like slam it in someone's face.
Also, like for example, I ended up naturally laughing at the rhyme for pub and shrub because it wasn't a rhyme I saw coming. Do you know what I mean? And so but the only way that could really happen is if you like take the distractions away from the lyric and then I can laugh at the lyric.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
And
yes.
when, and it was great and believable actually when you delivered it that way.
Yay.
Like I thought that you were a diva who was about to like go, this I can't. They're mistreating me.
Yes. Yeah, and
I
that's
know.
why I like.
Mary's on and I'm out of time. I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
So sorry.
Well, thank
But
you so
Diana, really wonderful
much.
job.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
great.
I love this song because it lets me really like kind of let my voice go, let the stops out a little bit. So thank you for your input. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's really good. The comedy is so much cleaner. So with comedy, cleanliness is godliness for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to all of the singers, and Telly, you just are fantastic. We, I think we can go over just a few minutes. So, if we just have any questions, it would have to be really quick. But if you have a question, if Telly, if you're good for just a couple of minutes, we'll see if.
Yeah, I can hang for another 10 minutes. That's okay.
Yeah, well, we got five, but we've got
Five.
five. Yeah, so
Great.
if
5 minutes.
somebody has a question, if you want to raise your hand, go ahead, Alina. I saw you first.
Okay, so what is the most stressful part of Broadway auditions for you?
Yeah, so the most stressful part of Broadway auditions is I think it's self-induced because I think we're going to be you sit outside in that waiting room and you stress out about what do they want? Like, and here's the thing, the secret is they don't know what they want until it walks in the door. They actually don't. They might have an idea of who they want to cast in it, but really they are hoping that each person walks in and gives them something that they've not seen in that role, in that character before. They want people to walk in and like expand their minds of what the song could be. They actually don't know what they want until it walks in the door. So all you have to do is do the work that you're doing, do all the preparation, do all of the voice lessons and the training, do all the research you need to do about the role and the character and who's in the room, and then go, okay, these are my 5 minutes. This is my audition. I'm going to prove to you that in this 5 minutes, this role can be Alina, that it can look and sound like this person and be this age. Whether or not they cast you, out of your hands, right? But trust me, they really don't know A, what they want, and B, they want you to be good. Nobody wants to have their time wasted. They want every single person to walk in there and blow their minds and be an option, be a castable option for them. So the hardest part actually is getting out of our own way and thinking that we need to like go in there and be and like try to figure out what they want. And in actuality, they don't know. They don't know. So why are we trying to be somebody else? Why are we trying to be anything but ourselves? And like, you can't be a wrong version of yourself, right? You really can't. Like, there's only one you. So if you can really somehow marry what it is that you do as an artist and who you are as an individual with whatever character you're auditioning for and make the two sort of meld like this, you can't go wrong. And there's going to be them behind the table going, "Oh yeah, why not? Why not Alina for that? I totally see it. I totally see it. She showed it to us." Right? So that's actually I think the hardest part of auditioning is the pressure we put on ourselves.
There's a question in the chat.
Yeah, and also Aldwin, you have your hand raised. Do you want to go ahead first? He kind of stuck in first.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
hi.
Aldwin.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. First, I just want to say I saw you when you were on Aladdin. You were amazing. And I was a big fan of Glee. So I just wanted to say that. I mean, I remember you distinctly. So my question is, hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm at work. My question would be, I'm starting into a classical realm very late. Just like Rebecca, I'm transitioning from classical music to more Broadway. I still teach classical. My thing is, I want to go back to school to get my master's. And so I didn't know if you had any suggestions as to where to go as far as a master's in musical theater. And a lot of people just tell me I just need to go audition. So my other question in a sense would be, what would be a suggestion for you? Should I just go ahead and audition or should I go to school still? Because I still want to get more of a background in musical theater.
That's a great question. Off the top of my head, I can think of a bazillion bachelor's degrees in musical theater. I actually can't think of very many master's programs in musical theater. I think there's one at NYU, right? There just aren't that many. So as somebody who's already has gone through so much schooling and musical training, what might be an option for you is to just find a great musical theater class. Find a class and find comrades and find classmates. Find a community of people that can foster your process there without actually like racking up more debt and going to go to get your master's. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know how many times. I mean, here's the thing: the reality of auditioning for Broadway shows is, I don't care if you have a master's in musical theater, or like I care what you do in that 5 minutes in the audition,
Mhm.
right? So like I don't care if you don't have any degree, but if you come in there and deliver, and like give it to me, great. Like that's what really counts. So I rarely am looking at somebody's and I know people behind the table are not looking at people's resumes going, oh, masters in music, that person, or masters in musical theater. Training of course counts, of course, but there's also, I think it's training can only go so far, right? I know some really well-trained actors who are not good auditioners too. So I do think it's about going to class, and for somebody who already has a degree in music and teaches music, going to a class that's geared for adults that are sort of like looking to transition more, or dancers, ballet dancers who are looking to do more musical theater. Like maybe you're because you're coming with strengths and technique from another genre that you can use to sort of enter musical theater in that way. Like, so I think to get your master's feels like a huge commitment of time and finances. So I would seriously think about that. And I also can't think of very many off the top of my head.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Is that helpful? I hope that's helpful.
No, it is helpful. It's just and I know we have someone else with the question, but it's like the issue I had was I can't even find auditions. My thing is like, I don't know what to trust. Like people say backstage, but then backstage sometimes seems iffy to me. And it's just kind of like, it gets me nervous. And like, okay, so now I have nowhere to go,
I mean, before there was representation, like before I had representation, I would go to open like chorus calls and singers calls from the Equity website, and if they were seeing non-equity backstage, I certainly did use backstage. Now, back in the day, I picked up backstage, and it was like the paper copy from the newsstand. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like 2000, 2001. So like that was a good 20 years ago that I was doing that. So like just know that like it's changed now. Playable.com has auditions, but yes, go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rebecca, should we make that our last question? Rebecca.
Are there any songs that are like taboo songs for auditions?
I don't think anything is taboo at an audition. Just know that if you're going to sing a song that is somebody's signature song, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to sing Don't Rain on My Parade, like A, don't try to be Streisand, there's only one, and B, bring something to it that makes me go, oh, Don't Rain on My Parade, I've never heard it this way, or I've never heard this individual sing it this way. Do you know what I mean? But there are you certainly, when you go into a room with something that is very well known, I think it's A, for people behind the table, they're going to know the ins and outs and the trap falls and the tricks of that song, and also how hard that song is, which is great for an audition. Just try not to like imitate that
Okay.
signature version of it, and really
Yeah.
bring yourself to it. So that it's basically what I was saying to Alina, if you really bring yourself to Don't Rain on My Parade, you can't go wrong, because there's only one Rebecca that's going to sing it that way and bring that particular energy to it. So make it memorable for me. That girl who sang Don't Rain on My Parade, I've never heard it that way before.
And then if you're doing auditioning for a certain musical, would you suggest not singing a song from that musical and choosing something similar?
I don't believe in that unless it says in that in the audition, because at the end of the day, an audition is a job interview. And if you're like, yes, I'm auditioning for Cosette, I might as well come and sing some Cosette for you,
Okay.
because it's like, let's just cut to the chase. I don't believe in that at all. Or I sing something by that same composer that
Okay.
just goes, I'm auditioning for this show. I'm going to help you see and hear me in the world of in this genre and in this play. So like, I usually cut right to the chase and go, I'm auditioning for this show. That's the part I want. Here's the song from it.
Okay, cool.
Rebecca, you have I think you have a perfect voice for this. If you haven't heard I'll Be Here from Ordinary Days, you would absolutely kill that song.
Thanks, learning it right now.
Well, thank you everyone so much for being here and sharing the love. And Seriously, for the singers, for being brave and putting yourself out there. And Telly, thank you so much. You just
Thank you.
were so great. We really appreciate all of your advice and your thoughts, and this has been a great class. So thank you
Thank you.
everyone for being here.
Thank you,
Have a good day,
Telly.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.